Craig and his wife and family as they embark upon new endeavors here in our city. We thank you for the privilege of service for all of our law enforcement, all of our city officials and governmental agencies that are serving to partner with the police department to help make this city a safe city. We ask now that you continue to give us the light that shineth in darkness. We pray a special prayer for Chief Craig as he received the baton today to move the city forward as the ambassador for peace, peace which you have given all of us, that we may share it with everyone we come in contact with. Bless his event, bless our efforts, and bless our city. In Jesus' name we pray, amen.
So let's have another round of applause for Jasmine Rogers from the School for Creative and Performing Arts, and did a marvelous job with our national anthem. Jasmine is a vocal music major and also is in the musical theater program, and it's no surprise to any of our friends here why SCPA continues its national reputation for excellence. And of course, it's also no surprise that we would put a spotlight on youth of our community at today's ceremony and celebration. So again, Jasmine, thank you for representing our youth. And many thanks to Pastor Tate for being with us this morning, for his great partnership with our community, and for his thoughtful invocation. I'm very pleased to be here at Cincinnati State today as we welcome James Craig as the new police chief for our city. And Chief, we are also delighted to welcome Mary Craig and your entire family here to the Queen City. And it's fitting that we're here at Cincinnati State. Cincinnati State's an integral part of our educational and economic ecosystem. And President Odell Owens and the Cincinnati State staff have really been very gracious in hosting us today. So please, let's give our friends at Cincinnati State a round of applause as well. Now I'm going to deviate from the script just for a second as I scan this great group of community and civic and business and other kinds of leaders. I see one person I do want to single out, and that's former Chief Tom Stryker. And yes, I think a round of applause. And Chief, you and I got to know each other in civic work about a decade ago at a really different time in our community. And I think our police force is a far better institution. Our city is a far better place. Thank you for your leadership and your service to our city. You know, a few years back, Cincinnati Children's Hospital made a decision to rebrand ourselves as Cincinnati Children's, emphasizing that we are proud to be intimately linked to Cincinnati and to carry that flag around the world. We are proud to be part of the fabric and history of the city of Cincinnati, and proud to count on partnerships such as those with our friends at the Uptown Consortium and the Cincinnati Police Department to help us prosper and grow. It's a collaboration that many may not think of right away. A medical center and a police department, but if you stop, patient safety, employee safety, injury prevention, youth, all of these things really are critical. And for our researchers, our doctors, our nurses, and our staff to feel at home in Cincinnati. And in that spirit, when we welcome patients and visitors from all 52 Cincinnati neighborhoods, from across our region, and literally from around the country and around the globe, they all must be attracted to and comfortable in Cincinnati. Comfortable in our neighborhoods, our schools, our parks, and to the character of our community and the lifestyle they can enjoy here. Our police department, the Cincinnati Police Department, is really foundational to creating that environment that makes places like Cincinnati Children's thrive. It's important for us, and it's important for all the businesses in our region who call this place home. Chief Craig, you are coming into a world-class city with an exceptional police department. I'm confident our great partnership will continue with you and the department, and that even greater things are ahead for all of our citizens and our entire community. And now it's my privilege to introduce the mayor of our great city, Mayor Mark Mallory.
Thank you very much. First of all, let me acknowledge the members of Cincinnati City Council who are here. Vice Mayor Roxanne Falls is here. Councilmember Lori Quinlivan, Councilmember Wendell Young, Councilmember Cecil Thomas, Councilmember Amy Murray, and Councilmember Chris Boyce. Thank you for being here. I also see back there the President of the Hamilton County Commission, Mr. Greg Hart. I see over here State Representative Alicia Reese. You have already had an acknowledgement of our former Chief, Tom Stryker. As I look out over this audience today, I see more men and women who wear the uniform of the Cincinnati Police Department. I also see directors and employees of the city administration. I see leaders from civic organizations. I see the leader of the Hispanic Chamber of Commerce. I see leaders of education and medicine and business and community. And in the end, what I see is a collection of people who represent the broader community in Cincinnati today. A community that strives to be safe. A community that wants to be harmonious and wants to be prosperous. A community that wants to be together. The task of bringing the community together in such a way begins with the effort to keep the community safe. It begins with the effort to keep the community safe. So today we swear in a new chief. A chief who has come to us most recently from Portland, Maine. He's also been on the mean streets of Detroit and through the tough times in LA. He's coming here to Cincinnati. He's coming to a police department that has been through tough times itself. The last decade has seen a police department that has dramatically transformed in such a way that no other department in this country has transformed. A department that now receives national and international accolades for its police work, for its communication with the community, for its relationship with the community, for its innovative approaches to policing through community-oriented policing and the Cincinnati Initiative to Reduce Violence. Today is an awesome day. Today is an awesome day. And the gentleman that the city manager conducted a search to find, a national search that was inclusive, that included members of the community to help determine what the criteria ought to be. The gentleman that is being sworn in today has an awesome task ahead of him. He's got to lead this fine department. He, in essence, has to lead this fine community in the effort to keep us safe, but again, that effort to bring us together. And so it is today that we welcome to our community Chief James Craig. This is the first time I've seen him in a Cincinnati police uniform. I will tell you that this chief is innovative. This chief has worked with community. This chief knows the challenges that we face in our community. And this chief is on Facebook. And his profile picture on Facebook has him wearing another uniform. So, Chief, your first duty today is going to be to change your profile picture to one with you wearing a Cincinnati police uniform. But seriously, and I am serious about that, it gives me great pleasure to be a part of such a great day. You know, as mayor, you get to do a lot of fun things. As mayor, you get to do a lot of not so fun things. You sometimes receive accolades. You sometimes receive criticism. But as mayor, you don't often have the opportunity to be a part of installing a new chief of police. And I take that opportunity very seriously. And it is something that I will never forget. Ladies and gentlemen, I am proud to be the mayor of the great city of Cincinnati, and I am proud to be a part of the ceremony to bring the new chief to the city of Cincinnati, Chief James Craig. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Mayor, for being such a great uniter for our city and a great ambassador for our city across the country and around the world. And Chief, you already commented to us that you happen to like this new uniform. You think it's the best you've ever had. You know, we are very lucky, as the mayor also alluded to have Milton Dehoney as our city manager. City Manager Dehoney conducted a national search for the police chief with great integrity, as he does everything. He involved constituencies throughout the city, oversaw a competitive and fair process, and has really hired an esteemed leader in Chief Craig. So it is my pleasure now to introduce the City of Cincinnati's manager, Milton Dehoney, who will administer the oath of office to Chief Craig after a few remarks.
Good morning. Changing the leadership of the Cincinnati Police Department is something that we don't do very often in our city. And when we do it, it is a labor-intensive process that draws a lot of interest from the public, from the officers, and from institutional leaders around our community. Many people who have worn the badge of the Cincinnati Police Department have done so with pride and with courage. A long career within the department allows a person to grow with the community and to see the value of service played out in the lives of men, women, and children. Thomas Stryker gave 43 years of his life to this department, and it is a pleasure and an honor for him to be with us this morning. And again, Tom, thank you for your service. There are things that happen in the life of a city that signal that it is turning a page in its history, setting a course that has implications for many years to come. In our city, we are experiencing a level of growth with skyscrapers, hotels, apartments, casinos, and new corporate headquarters that tells the world that something special is happening here. While we are preparing to welcome the world in song with the World Choir Games and with the next innovations at Cincinnati Children's or P&G, we must also come to grips with another side of our city, the side that includes people who have made bad choices, people who have committed violence, people who are somehow disconnected from the vision of growth that we chase, whether disconnected by choice or by circumstance. It presents a formidable challenge. The police department provides service in both of these worlds. The police department is an integral part of the stability, vitality, and human relations of Cincinnati. The department must be in perpetual partnership with the community to help bring about a sense of order that enables our citizens to feel good about calling Cincinnati home. It must be led by a person who understands the challenges and opportunities found in a major city like ours. The chief must be a good listener, an analytical thinker, an encourager, and an enforcer. The chief must be a risk taker, a communicator, a problem solver, a team player, and a human being. With the help of many citizens who gave input, a screening committee, a dedicated city staff, a supportive group of policymakers, and an attentive media, I have found the next person and the right person to lead the Cincinnati Police Department through the next chapters of its history. His name is James E. Craig. He is a man who loves his family. He loves his officers, and he loves his profession. In a very short time, he has discovered chili on a plate, ice cream like no other, and what hooday means. And that this is a place full of people who are passionate about a place they call home. And if he is as smart as I think he has also discovered how to change his Facebook page. And so on this great day in Cincinnati, August the 2nd, 2011, I invite James E. Craig and his wife Mary to step forward and take the oath and accept the badge to become the 13th Chief of the Cincinnati Police Department.
I, James E. Craig, do solemnly swear
That I will support the Constitution of the United States of America
that I will support the Constitution of the United States of America,
and the Constitution and laws
the Constitution and laws
of the State of Ohio
of the State of Ohio,
and the Charter,
and the Charter,
laws,
laws,
and ordinance of the City of Cincinnati,
ordinances of the City of Cincinnati,
and that I will well
and that I will well,
and faithfully
faithfully
discharge these duties
discharge these duties
in the office of Police Chief,
in the office of Police Chief,
to which I have been appointed
to which I have been appointed
according to the law
according to the law,
and to the best of my ability.
to the best of my ability.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you. Well, I guess I should start out by saying that I will absolutely change my Facebook page today. This is a great day, and I just want to say good morning to everyone. And it is with much gratitude that I stand here before you as the 13th Police Chief of the Cincinnati Police Department. I want to start by first thanking God from whom all blessings emanate, my wife Mary, my parents, my daughter Erica, my family, who is here celebrating this great day. I want to especially thank Cincinnati City Manager Milton Mahoney Jr., who after conducting a thorough and thoughtful selection process placed confidence in my abilities to lead this great police department. As part of this effort, I want to acknowledge the commitment and dedication demonstrated by the Police Chief Selection Committee, who had the difficult task of vetting the best candidates in a field of talented police professionals both inside the Cincinnati Police Department and others from municipal police departments from across this nation. I appreciate the warm welcome and support extended to me by Cincinnati's Mayor, Mark Mallory, and members of the City Council during this historic moment in Cincinnati's history. I also appreciate the many community members and the men and women of the Cincinnati Police Department who have reached out and made my family feel at home. And last, I would like to thank our host, the Cincinnati State Technical and Community College. But I would be remiss to not include Chief Stryker, who has done a marvelous job in leading this department through some very turbulent times and really making a difference. So I would ask that Chief Stryker and his executive team, now my executive team, please stand and let's give them a round of applause. Thank you. Thank you. It was just a little over 35 years ago. I know I'm telling my age now, but I embarked on my policing career in June of 1977 when I joined the Detroit Police Department. And after a staffing reduction, being laid off in January of '81, I became a member of the Los Angeles Police Department, where I spent a successful 28-year career. And then after that, I was selected as a police chief in Portland. But now appointed as Cincinnati's next police chief, is truly the pinnacle of my policing career. Each time I was grateful for choosing and being chosen by this honorable profession and given the opportunity to become a public servant. There's nothing more honorable than public service, and I understand that service to the community is not always easy. As both a police officer and a police executive, I've seen the best and the worst in our communities. But my reward has been the good fortune of making a difference in people's lives. Embracing the values instilled to me by my parents, my spiritual teachings, and developing the right mentor relationships as a young police officer all helped guide me through both a challenging and rewarding career. I started policing at a time when minorities and women were still relatively new to the profession. And so I witnessed firsthand the reluctance and the resistance by some to adapt to a rapidly changing profession. This resistance on the part of some never discouraged me in providing the highest level of service to all people. Instead, it made me stronger in holding on to the core values and mission of my chosen profession. In every challenge and obstacle placed in my path, it was through God's grace that I maintained courage in the face of adversity. During a recent graduation speech to graduating police officers representing police departments throughout the state of Maine, I instructed the graduates as they embarked on their new duties as police officers that they will always be judged by their actions. I went on to say that you must at times become the rare person who carefully and consciously chooses your behavior. You do so by constantly questioning your actions. You should ask yourself this basic question. Would my actions embarrass my family, bring disgrace to my department, profession, and your city? I close my remarks to the new officers by stating, your acts of omission are just as dangerous as acts of commission. As your police chief, I will remain faithful to my sacred oath of office and the badge as a symbol of public trust. As a professional police officer, we must continue to embrace our oath of office because by upholding it, policing will continue to gain the trust, confidence, and support of the community. The 4 stars on my collars not only represent the rank of chief, but it signals a beginning of change and transition in the Cincinnati Police Department. My selection is historic for several reasons. As the first outside selected an African-American police chief for the first time in the department's 209-year history. This will undoubtedly promote anxieties for some and opportunities for others. I understand and will remain sensitive to how periods of change can be tough, especially in organizations where cultures have been in place for many years. That said, I will always respect the rich history and traditions of this great police department. And moving forward, our key priorities will be reducing the fear and incidence of violent crime, enhancing our community partnerships, and maximization of our resources. In the area of violent crime, we will be assessing how crime is analyzed, and I will be looking at creating a CompStat process that will be unique to the Cincinnati Police Department. A key strategic response to abating crime ties into our next priority of community partnerships that will include the continuation of SERVE, the Community Collaborative, and adhering to the mandates outlined in the federal consent decree. I know that building bridges in our youth community does play a key role in reducing violent youth crime. We will quickly evaluate the status of our work with our youth in the high-risk neighborhoods. However, regardless of the neighborhood, we will be committed to working with youth in every neighborhood in Cincinnati with an eye toward building mentor-type relationships that will be facilitated through a variety of activities from athletics, scouting, and participation in the arts. Finally, given our current fiscal situation, we'll be conducting an exhaustive review of our organizational structure and how our personnel resources are deployed. In discussion with the city manager, Dahoney, we have discussed looking at a transition audit that in part will examine the department's strengths and weaknesses. Through this effort, I expect to learn how we can optimize on the department's efficiencies, at the same time looking for opportunity to cut costs. As a chief with an outside perspective, I will be taking a fresh outside look. And as we move forward, I am committed to a collaborative and transparent approach in establishing the best operating practices. To the command officers, civilian managers, and supervisors of the Cincinnati Police Department, I am committed to ensuring that you are empowered, have sufficient authority, and supported to effectively lead and develop the future leaders of this department. In doing so, I foster an environment where responsible risk-taking and innovation on behalf of the public good is the norm and encouraged. As such, I believe in leadership by inclusion and collaboration, and you will be held accountable in ensuring that you sustain work environments where police officers and civilian employees are valued, respected, and solicitation of their input is the rule instead of the exception. To the police officers and civilian employees of the Cincinnati Police Department, my commitment to you will always be to maintain an environment of respect, transparency, that you are properly trained, equipped, and supported. You count, and without each of you, we cannot provide the superior level of service to what the community deserves and expects. Your opinion, suggestions, ideas, and when necessary, offering dissent will always count. I, along with the executive team, will be committed to listening, showing appreciation, and when necessary, act quickly, and I'll say it again, act quickly to address your concerns. I know your work can be challenging and at times emotionally draining. And as a family, we will continue to offer the type of support expected when a family member needs help. In return, I expect from every member of this department a demonstration of integrity in all you do. To the sworn members, bravery in the face of danger. To all, the courage in always questioning your actions as well as that of your partners or co-workers that will prevent dishonoring the reputation of this exceptional police department. And always, I stress always, providing the highest level of dignity and respect to every member of our diverse neighborhoods. To the community members of our 52 Cincinnati neighborhoods, our elected leaders, our businesses, clergy leaders, our law enforcement partners, and other stakeholders, I am committed to enhancing our partnerships in making Cincinnati a safer place to reside, work, and play. As a promise keeper, you will have accessibility, transparency, and responsiveness. I understand the past, but I view our future together as an opportunity to achieve greatness. We will continue to embrace our history and learn from each other. Reducing crime and the fear of crime is only one part of the equation. And without your involvement, your trust and support, we will not and cannot realize success. I call upon each of you to continue with courage, commitment, and dedication that you have demonstrated since the civil unrest. In closing, I want to share with you some words from Martin Luther King during one of his most magnificent speeches. Courage is an inner resolution to go forward despite obstacles. Cowardice is a submissive surrender to circumstances. Courage breeds creativity. Cowardice represses fear and is mastered by it. Cowardice asks questions. Is it political? Vanity asks questions. Is it popular? But in good conscience, ask the question, is it right? And there comes a time when we must take a position that is neither safe, political, nor popular, but one we must take because it is right. In closing, I say that together we can achieve greatness, but only if we embrace change and opportunity. To the city of Cincinnati, I will not let you down. Thank you.
the 13th Police Chief of the City of Cincinnati, Chief James Craig. So, Chief, not only do you wear the new uniform well, I think you wear the title of Chief well. Congratulations and welcome. And one other thing in that Cincinnati lore that the city manager spoke about, from chili to ice cream. So 13 happens to be my favorite Reds big red machine player, Dave Concepcion. So you got to know about that kind of stuff too. Yeah. And now Rabbi Ken Cantor, director of rabbinical school at Hebrew Union College, another Cincinnati treasure, will provide our benediction. Rabbi Cantor?
Please join me in a moment of prayer. O source of life and blessing, the source of our inspiration and hope, we thank you for the many gifts given to us. The freedom and independence of our country, the rich and diverse mosaic of our citizens, our faiths, ethnicities, languages, and cultures. We know, loving God, that you weave our past, our present, and our future into a tapestry of many designs and colors. Be with us this day and enable us to be co-workers with you in the design you would unfold for us and our city. Strengthen the hand of those who serve our community through their gifts of courage, commitment, and honesty. Grant your blessings to Chief Craig and his family as he begins this awesome responsibility of justice and leadership. Let our creativity design communities of love, drawing unity from diversity. The 7 colors of the rainbow form one light. Help us to use our abilities to bring all people together for the equal development of our society. You speak to us, O God, in all of creation, but most surely in the depths of our hearts. May you speak to us in our city, its neighborhoods and communities, with their diversity of peoples, races, and nationalities. This day, O God, we thank you especially for Chief Craig, his fellow officers, our mayor, city manager, and council members, city workers and citizens, all united in the recognition that serving your children fulfills your expectations of us. For the city of Cincinnati in which we live, we share our gratitude. For our service to you, above our own needs and desires, we give you thanks as we say together, Amen.
Thank you, Rabbi Cantor. And really thank all of you for joining us today. Jasmine, which we're really delighted she'll do again, is going to sing for us one more time as you can saunter your way out to enjoy refreshments as we welcome Chief Craig. We saunter here, yes, we saunter. And I would be remiss if I didn't also thank our sponsors today, Frost Brown Todd and the Cincinnati Reds. That's why we got that Concepcion plug in there. And also many thanks to our friends at American Financial, Adrian Durbin Florist, and Cincy Balloons. And now I ask the Cincinnati Police Color Guard to please retire the colors.